That's such a better start of the show song. It's like do 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 do, and then so that was to me is what the way we start this. Where's Charles?
What are you doing?
I was just saying that song is a way better starting song than I mean I agree my song chef's kiss on that one for having COVID and doing it, but that one is obviously it's like the opening the door of the happy safari times, right? And then the other one is like more of a fading out credits kind of thing. Can't you see the credits kind of, you know, like
and this show represents a lot of what is best about this community.
The joy in the world of pickups and pedals and strings and tuners. But mainly, most importantly, output jacks. Not input jacks, but mainly output jacks.
Well, welcome, folks. It's Friday night, and that means it's time for Guitar Safari. And this is unbelievably the pedal show.
Well, it's not that pedal show, but it's that other pedal
show.
It's
the other pedal show.
He stole that shit. He stole that shit.
Look, no, it's just recycled. The people, Guitar Safari is used a lot. People are like using it here and there. I'm like, look, who do you think you are? Come on.
Well, yeah, so we want to know, you know, what are people stomping on, right? What are they making some noise with?
Mainly, we want to know things that are guitar related that you're stomping on. Because if you're the kind of person that likes to stomp on living things, I probably don't want to hear about it, you know, because I might like you at this point. And if you tell me that you're just a stomper of living things, I'm like, I don't know, bro. You can still hang out, but you got to sit over at that table over there, Mr. Stomp. Anyway.
All right. So as we go through the show, full disclosure here, I don't really use a whole lot of pedals. That's because I don't play that well, right?
Well, no, that's not the thing, Charles. You know,
and I'll be honest, I do have some pedals, and I have some nice pedals.
Right.
They don't really get used a whole lot because, let's be honest, I really don't know what the hell I'm doing. Okay.
Number one, you don't play enough. Number two,
that means there's a mission for the people in the chat tonight, right?
Okay.
They got to educate me.
Yes, we have to tell you a few things that so I was talking to my wife before I came down here, and she's like, but he's been playing on, and this is funny because my wife like knows this shit. He's been playing modeling amps for probably years. That's why. Whoa. Okay. Yeah. I mean, so one of your first amps was probably a Spark, and it has every pedal in it on all those sounds. So little did you know you're using all those pedals without, they're just all preset.
Yeah.
So I think you're robbing yourself a little bit by saying, "Oh, I don't know about the pedal." But every sound that you've been playing has had a lot of pedals on it. But the way it's kind of cool now that we can do that, and I'm a fan of clicking through blues, rock, you know, heavy rock. I like that. Give me some easy shit, and then let me also be able to fine tune it in further. You know. But I've got some pedals. I brought out 10 that I thought would be a good. I mean, people are going to laugh because that's hopefully what we're here for, that people have a good time. But like my pedals are near and dear to my poor man's heart. It's like a garage for someone who wants to park a lot of Ferraris, but could only afford to park a lot of Geo Metros.
There you go.
You know?
All right. Well, let's say hello to some people, right?
Let's say hi. Unless there's too many people. Dude.
Well, we'll go through it quick today.
All right.
So we got Searching for Tone first in the chat.
What up, Searching for Tone?
Followed by Cushman NYC saying hello to all the peoples out there. Our buddy Wayne McConnell with the Howdy Boys.
What up, howdy, yowdy. Don't get rowdy or do get rowdy.
Michael Krause after that.
In the house.
And Unfucking Believable says he's only got a couple of pedals, so.
You only need a couple pedals. We're going to go over that. You need a boost. You need a reverb. You might need a chorus.
Then Earl Colite came in the chat asking everybody what they were drinking tonight. And he just started something going because Cushman NYC said Jack and Coke.
Yum.
And Earl is talking about he's drinking water and making believe it's beer. That's going to be me later on there, Earl, for sure.
I'm drinking beer later, Earl. I'm sorry. I've been off of beer for like 3 weeks and haven't been drinking at all. But tonight, It's voting night.
There you go.
They got
And of course, we got everyone's favorite music in law, Ryan Hall.
what?
Dude,
Yeah.
putting out videos again, and it's great. It's great. He's got one on. I can't remember what they are, but he did another John Prine one the other day, and I haven't been able to get to watching it, and I'm just dying because Ryan does John Prine really well. I'm just saying. So I'm excited.
That guy's from my area. He lived close to here, so he's near and dear.
And Keith H is in the chat. Yep,
What
Keith
up,
is here.
Hey, Ryan, please don't go by my place because there's nobody there at my channel. Hey, if you're over on the Presley, California Custom channel, please come over to the Charles 75N channel to chat amongst the other cool cats in the house because my place will be kind of lonely. I always wonder who's over there. It's funny.
We got Hip Metalworks has made his way in. Thank you there, Ken. How you doing?
What up, Hip? Hip is Ken?
Hip is Ken. Yep.
Nice. Okay.
And my brother from Texas.
We're getting close. Ferd from Texas. Also in Texas. How many miles away from you in Texas? As the crow.
He's about, in thinking about it in time, he's about 3.5 hours.
Hey, I've seen a lot of fucking crows, and they don't necessarily fly in a straight line.
No.
So is that saying so act like, well, if you go as the crow flies, well, fucking the crow's gonna go over here and eat some food and then go shit on a rock, and then when's the crow even gonna get there?
I don't know. But brother Ben Kuhn says, did someone say pedals? I don't know.
Ooh, Ben. So Ben is a pedal master. If you were to give Ben a tone, play it for him for 30 seconds, and then say, go on with what he has.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of confidence that he would be able to dial in, like a studio guy, dial in that appropriate tone or something he's really comfortable with for that scenario. Because he has that. I've seen him do it. I've seen him do it on the show. So
we got our buddy Dastardly Dave made his way in. Hello there.
What up, DD?
And then Vox Guitar Rocks.
Oh,
he's still stuck at work, but he wanted to make sure he said hello to everybody. So appreciate you, buddy.
And
the guy with the coolest avatar in the world, Time Surfing Alien.
Day in your life.
And Matt from McCollum Music. Hello there.
That's also some bullshit. That's about the same as the crow flies. You love what you do. You still work. You just love your work, but it's still work.
And VC Rich 581, you're right. I know better to leave this man unsupervised, but
in the beginning of the show,
he broke the leash. He broke the tethers, and Sherman was not on duty.
He's been on strike for a while now.
He's a little irked with you.
A little feisty, but he's been hanging out, not doing too much because it keep him away from the computer, keep him back over here on the thing. So,
and hello there, Eddie Fay. Good to see you.
What up, Eddie? Yeah, thank you for coming by, Eddie.
We got Martian Murray here with us. Hello there.
Oh yeah, hold on. Okay.
And Bonkers has made his way in. Hello.
What a bonk. We're going by level of importance. A level of importance for me.
That we're not live. No.
What? No. This is pre-recorded. We're pre-recorded interactions that we've all.
We're not even gonna play this till later,
right?
For sure.
By level of importance, mind you, I don't have a big pedal board. I'm not a big tone searcher.
Oh, there, Terry 3Gs.
What up, Terry? Number one of importance.
And hello there, John Deshane. Great show last night.
What up, John?
Patrick Trice said good day.
Good day. Did I ever tell you that my wedding ring is also a fidget spinner?
I figured that's how she got you to put it on.
No, I'm saying it's the best thing in the world because being.
Hey, Mitch Heyman, how you doing? And
what
Mitch
up,
Heyman
Mitch?
and Charles Green are going to be on live after us. So,
I guess we know what the Mitch Heyman is going on around here after this.
What the Mitch Heyman is going on around here.
Hell yes!
And hello there, way up, dude.
Way up, dude. Whoa, hold on. Thought that's searching for titties. Right? You see his thing. You see that but I didn't create that, Charles. That was just brought into my life. Thank you.
You enjoyed it a little bit too much.
Free membership. Upgraded. Give that guy a wrench.
All right, so that gets us caught up in the chat, my friend. So we've said hello to everybody, and we're ready to get rolling on this topic.
All right. I'm sorry, I jumped in already. Number one of most importance.
So how are we gonna go about this tonight, Seth? We know we want to include the chats as well.
You're gonna tell us pedals what they think is on their board. The number one of most importance.
Well,
although
our buddy
tuner.
Our buddy that made his way in first, searching for tone, he enjoys anything that's Wampler.
Oh, nice stuff. Yeah.
He says Mafetta was his recent purchase. It was awesome. He also likes that Velvet Fuzz.
Wow. So yeah, see, that's what we're going for, Charles. They just gave us a great sample of an amazing pedal board. So that's some primo stuff that someone chose because that's where they're getting their tone. That's them finding that's their safari on a platter, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. But what we want to also know is what you consider number one important, besides the tuner. You don't have to say importance of a tuner because it's obvious, unless you're a guy that has
you got to have a tuner, right?
Yeah, unless you're doing a snark at a show, and then you're that guy. But
Don't
anyway,
be that guy.
it's fine. It's okay. Some people are that guy. I've been that guy, so it's okay. I had to snark it. So this is number one important for me, especially if I have more than one guitar, Charles, because this allows me to play through a big tube amp or big tube amp setup and balance. So by switching back and forth from the guitars, the Strat that I plan on using and a humbucker guitar that I plan on using, I can balance one or the other to have this on so that when I plug in the other one, they're balanced, right? So I know that when I have the Strat, have this on or vice versa. And that way you can plug into a big tube amp setup and not have that instant, oh my God, it's a different guitar.
I got you.
But I don't have the ability to go beyond people can go further and have compressors that have 2 or 3 presets. So you can do the same thing for 3 guitars on stage. Some compressors are digitally set. You can step through 20 of them. If you're like a top touring person, you can also program them to go automatically to the songs, that you want. So gets very advanced, but I go very rooted. It's fancy schmancy stage stuff right there. Todd Nichols has a thing where basically all the sounds for off the album have been designed into his live rig. That Kempler thing is
that a must-have pedal for you?
Must have if I'm playing through a big tube amp and I want to play more than one guitar.
I got you.
And not be frustrated, or not necessarily me be frustrated, but if I show up to a practice and I'm twiddling and twaddling to rebalance after I change guitars or whatever, you hate to show up someone who shows up and they're searching for their sound there.
Yeah, not good.
Do that beforehand. So this is great if you want to play more than one guitar, which I always want to.
I think Michael Krause is making great gains tonight. He is admitting that he's got more pedals than he knows what to do with, and it's about 10 times longer than our roll call. So,
wow, yeah, so we're saying most importance. You could for you, Michael, we could go most important on the top 2 pedal boards that you got right now, because if you have that many.
And I tell you, Kush has just been enjoying plugging straight into his Marshall 50-watt head.
Yeah, no, I get that too.
Without pedal.
I get you. Trust me, none of these were plugged in, with the exception of my synthesizer pedal, which I wasn't even really using, but I was just been using my Nomad 3-channel amp direct.
Earl's another one getting fancy, right? Because he's looking forward to getting the new Tone X firmware update. He's building a new pedal board around the Tone X, and it's all-in-one effect system. So
now, is the Tone X? Did the Tone X is from Fender?
Honestly, I don't know.
I know I've heard people talk about it a lot, but as soon as they say the price, I stopped thinking about anything that's like even at like in that digital realm and out of my range. Because I'm like the kind of guy who rides. Before I'll get, when I'll get something like that is when they become so antiquated that someone has literally put them on the street, and then I'll be like, oh, hey, there's a Kempler.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's cool. I'll take that.
All the time I get something when no one is any longer using it, and
Exactly.
It's really
But they are kind of like DVD players or, Blu-rays. I mean, who's watching Blu-rays now?
Yep. For sure. Well, Earl is also he also likes the Raffetta, and he's into that germanium tumnus.
See, these people don't have high-end stuff, Charles. I'm
They
looking super
like all
ghetto.
this fancy stuff. So I don't
should
know.
have known. I'm be looking super ghetto. So I'm gonna go at 16 minutes in. I got 10 pedals. We're gonna go second most important on my board, Charles. If I'm running through a big tube amp setup, is a reverb, because a lot of good tube amp setups might not have reverb. Like you could have an amp that's a really great amp, especially a platform amp, and it's not going to have reverb. So you got to have something, right?
Yeah, I had a long time back. I was using a PV Bandit from the 70s, right? And it had a spring reverb in it. And I loved it. And then Ben was like, if you like spring reverb, you need to check out a plate reverb.
Oh, yeah.
Which was just blew my mind. I was like, no way.
Fun. Yeah, I got room plate.
I thought spring reverb was it, right?
No, well, yeah. It's good to have it. And my Nomad has onboard reverb, so I don't need this. Usually I set my channels for that. Although now that I think of it, I could run this on there for just saturated to have it to boost it whenever I need it. So that's what's number 2 on my pedal board that you got to have.
Yeah, and so it's a digital reverb, which is
it is, yes. And I know, yuck. I hear you. I know. But hey, it is what it is. I tell you, I'm cheap. You're gonna get it. You're gonna ride shotgun in a Geo, Ben. Is what I'm saying. You're riding shotgun in a Geo. So,
oh my,
you might pass. I think someone gave it to me because, like I said, I don't use it a lot. I use it a little, and I'm not a connoisseur like you were. Like you were. That's good.
Ben says Charles owns nothing but high-end boutique tone sniffer pedals.
Yeah, you do have some nice aren't they all high-end pedals?
All of them but one. And
okay.
but I only have 4. I have an LPD 68.
Oh, so you're saying you're unprepared. You didn't bring your pedals up to
they're over there, but I didn't think we'd be showing off pedals tonight. So
well, why not? It's a pedal show, Charles.
You're gonna make me go over there.
I'm not gonna make you do anything.
Well, I tell you, I will go grab what I have.
Yeah, go grab it.
While you.
I'll talk about number 3 because I want to make Ben really mad. This is, this is gonna make Ben throw up, actually, because he thought that digital reverb was bad. Hold on, wait for it, Ben. This is poor. This is Wonder Bread for the pedal world.
Why don't you grab what our folks in the chat have? We can get them involved.
I can't read anything, man. Come on, man. I'm trying to read. Jeez. Digitech. It does have 4 knobs and a light, Ben. So, all right. So the Charles, the chat said, man, what's been up with Charles lately? He used to be hella cool, but now he be whack. He be trying to be all that. Damn, dog. Damn, who we got to kick that person. All right, don't worry, Charles. I kicked him out of the chat.
Okay.
Yep, they're gone.
All right. Yeah. So, this was my first pedal.
What is that? We got to hold it super close.
The LPD 68. So it's basically a plexi in a box.
So top end. That through your...
This is a Lawrence Petros Designs pedal.
Yeah.
So when Ben says I only have tone sniffer pedals, well, three of my 4 pedals come from this builder.
Well, that's because he's actually one of the best.
That he is.
Yeah.
And so the next pedal that I ended up getting, okay, this is my TC Electronics Goss Tape Echo.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Because I wanted that, that kind of slapback kind of thing.
And it's very authentic sounding, probably more so than a digital.
It's all right.
Yeah.
And then, because you made me go get all these.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, you could even go slower.
Well, then, I have none other than Ben Coombs' Nice Drive, eh?
Nice drive, eh? Oh, I love that, man. Why aren't these all plugged in over at your PV, like chained together and going?
Because the sad little Charles doesn't have a pedal board to put it on. So And then, because Ben,
you do have a floor, am I right?
because both Ben and Unfucking Believable rave about the Dutch all the time.
Of course, yeah. You have all these things in boxes.
Of course, Ben has the original Lost
This
Dutch.
has become sad. We're all sad.
So, and then, of course, I think Unbelievable's like squirreling away a couple of them. So when when Lawrence reissued the Dutch and came out with the Dutch 2, Charles spent the money. Charles won't spend $300 on a guitar, but
$300 on a pedal. So
more on the pedal.
Those two drives with the Dutch having the double, you can basically have unlimited gain. You could go to the stratosphere with you start with the PV clean, and your PV has reverb in it. It's a spring reverb. Is that it? That's all you got? You got one more?
That's everything. That's everything here. Because again, I'm still finding my way and still learning, and so buying a bunch of pedals isn't a smart move for me at this point because they don't get used as much. But these were opportunities. Ben's is a limited pedal. The Dutch Squared is a limited pedal. 68. The 68 is one of Lawrence's best pedals that he's made. And
these pedals they must be plugged in.
So
you must
so I got the ones that I thought I would need later on.
No, you need them now. You need to plug them in now. Power source is key. If you have power source for everything, you should really, and then just get cables for them and plug them all in.
Yeah, I did get I do have one of those one spots where the cable that goes and you can plug a bunch of them in.
Ben can talk you through how he would line up your 4, and you're going to be good to go. You're going to have like a much more elevated, educated tone when you sit down. It's going to be more fun for you to play, and you're going to sound better. You're going to sound more like the stuff you want to sound like with that little kick in the pants, right? You might be sitting down and practicing now and get easily frustrated, or not frustrated, easily not as stoked, right? But if you're making some killer sounds with all these new pedals, you get stoked.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Well, Vox Guitar Vox, he likes using his Bad Monkey pedal.
Nice.
And a TM300. I'm not sure what that is. And an MXR EQ pedal. Do you know what the TM300 is?
300. I can't place it off the top of my head. Nope. Don't have it off the top of my head. And
Unbelievable would like you to send Ben all your EQ pedals. So
I'll take another one. I love another EQ. All
let
right,
me get this one real quick.
Yeah,
Marshall Murray says dirt and chorus are his jam.
Aha. Speaking of, number 3 in importance.
I felt it coming.
Yeah, for Presley. Number 3 in importance for Presley. Yeah, it's not the best chorus in the world, but yeah, it's a freaking chorus that works pretty good. Does what you want it to do. Sounds chorusy. Also is stereo, so you can split your channels out. Also, this delay is that stereo too? Yeah, the delay stereo as well. That's helpful for running wet, dry, wet. It's fun. Reverb is also stereo. And then, you ran through yours pretty fast, but we're trying to stay sometime.
Well, I just went through them because I don't have the same knowledge, and I don't really use mine as much. Mine are for later when I know what I'm doing.
I don't know what any of these do actually. I just own them. They just look cool. I just have them here. This is the one that I have probably enjoyed the most and played with the most out of everything. Is my Boss SY1 synthesizer pedal.
So that make your your guitar sound more like a synthesizer? Or?
You can dial it to where it sounds only like a synthesizer, and there's a blend knob. So you can blend it 50-50. You can have it mostly the guitar with the synthesizer just a little bit underneath it. So that's kind of what I like to do is I'll have a big strings sound or a big movie sound kind of thing underneath that you can kind of hear, and it makes my sound huge when I activate it. So, and it's stereo. So
I wish we had gotten to this comment from Eddie from just a pedal back, because he says, Seth, you need a delay too, and then we said, well, here's my delay.
Right.
And he says he agrees. He agrees with the boost if you need distortion like a tube screamer, chorus, and maybe a reverb.
My boost, I'll get to that. That's not the most important, but it's my most dear pedal to my heart, and it is a boutique pedal. That is my one boutique pedal that I have. And I got it from my dad, so it's cool. Super cool. And
Ryan, this looks like Ryan Hall's mother's doing a little bit better. Here you go. You gotta love that.
Fantastic news. That's amazing. That's really good to hear.
All right, so Martian Murray has been jonesing for a Source audio artifact.
Audio, is that kind of like a fuzz? An artifact? Is that going to make you sound fuzzy and old?
I'm not sure. I have no idea.
I mean, think of how many pedals have been made and developed and released and that are out there. Just so many different things that you can we stomp on Sherman? That's no.
It would make a sound.
It would make a crunch. Dude, Sherman is valuable. I don't know if I could replace Sherman. He'd be hard to find. He's a McDonald's toy from 2013 or 14.
Well, maybe that's all he needs to hear to shape up.
He's not even looking at me. He's facing you guys because he's facing the other way away from me. Good God.
Our buddy Michael Krause says he just wants some dirty, some distortion, some drive, some fuzz, some modulation, whether it be chorus or flanger, some reverb, tremolo, delay, and then some weird stuff. He's going to need a bigger board. Or maybe more than one board.
You just need a few
more than two.
That's my boutique pedal.
Ooh.
It's a
the Keeley Java Boost.
And it's got the switch between the germanium and the shermanium, chromagnium switch right there that does the Schlemiel, Schlemapo, Hop and Sep Incorporated thing. You know exactly what that is. So yeah, this is really cool. This was an always on for my dad. It was a boost balance for him.
Oh, that's cool. It's a pedal from your dad, even better.
Yep, and it's number 807 of the Java Boost from a long time ago.
Well, Corey's Garden's got accomplishment. He just got his pedals off the floor and onto a board 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
So, there you go.
Yeah, that means that what he's saying, Charles, is yours can go on the floor. We could do it. Just put them on the floor. Floor works. Works good.
An important piece of advice here from Ben. I don't place importance on one pedal over another. It's really just kind of a recipe, right? Which ingredients you need to make the flavor you want today.
Ooh, that might let me make the case for, the tone wouldn't be so good if I had only expensive pedals. You got to have that one cheap one in the chain, or you don't get the...
I've been waiting to see what Ferd has, right? What Ferd likes. Ferd likes the Keeley 3-in-1, the tri-chorus, flanger, and rotary best.
Oh, very good.
Favorite pedal.
So, Keeley, I heard my dad, this is a long time ago, on the phone, he would bug the guy from Keeley. which is it Jeff Keighley or whoever it was, he would call him and talk to him way too much for a guy who bought 3 or 4 pedals. Way too much. But my dad used to make pedals and, you know, do all that stuff, and he was into it.
Well, Matt's got a freak out, a whammy DT, a whammy standard, a Keeley compressor, a quad cortex, old blood noises dark, and light reverbs in loop stereo into a stereo boss slicer. That's his everyday signature.
That's his everyday rig. That's my go rig. He keeps that in the go bag.
Just to put that, just to put that together, it's like, wow.
Well, once you get it together, you're good, right? But yeah, that's great. That's probably just sounds killer.
I love how Dave tells on himself without telling on himself, right? He says, I don't have all the pedals, but close.
Not all the pedals, but I only need a few, and I'll have the whole Pokemon collection. Everyone. A golden Charizard, which is kind of like the same as getting a what's the amp that the Manitar is on that everybody wants to have a.
Oh, the Klon?
The Klon. Everybody wants to go to a yard sale and see one of those things there, and you're just like, oh, here's a Klon. I'll take it.
You talked about this when you showed your pedal. I got tickled when I saw it in the chat again.
I know. All right, that's fine. Most of my shit is digital. Yeah, I don't think I have any analog pedals at all. Anyway. Another one.
Searching for Tone says he won an AX FX2 back in 2012 from Ernie Paul, signed by John Petrucci.
Ooh.
And if you're looking for expensive, it was a bit expensive, but so he sold it for rent.
That's what I might do with this one since I haven't
paid my rent.
I haven't used it in forever, but it is fun whenever you use it. It has one useful sound. Or maybe more, but I have only found like one useful sound out of it. Oh, the acoustic simulator. You were an $80 mistake. Does anybody want to give me $71 plus $14 shipping? And it is yours. I think I even have a box for it. It might be the wrong box, but that's still a box. I didn't say I had the right box for it. I said I had a box for it.
Ben, I don't have emojis loaded up here. That was a one-time thing for your channel, so that you've got it there for your members and Patreons.
You have to get plastic.
Hey, Eddie, what's going on? Ox Guitar Box says he doesn't need a delete pedal. His playing's delayed enough.
Oh, blink, 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 blink. I've heard some people playing that I thought it was delay. Hey, how much delay do you have on there? Oh, sorry. Just Parkinson's. Oh, that was a terrible joke. Bad joke. All right. Let's move on.
Ooh.
Trio.
Okay, so this is your looper, yeah.
This is an expensive one, but it's not boutique, and it's it's digital. But I love this thing for band.
Is this thing as complex as it looks?
Yeah, I mean, but you get used to, if you really want to do what it does, you get used to it quick, and it's not too much to understand, especially if you're if you're the kind of person that gets a little bit obsessed about something, then you might like the trio pedal. Because it allows you to do a band creator, and you can get close enough to your own songs to even perform them, and it sounds good through a big PA. That's a good thing about this thing, that when you plug it through a big PA, it sounds great. It has no diminishing. I think it even sounds better.
If you're doing the one-man band kind of thing.
I played this thing at North Star at Tahoe on this little stage, but they put the music out through the whole place, even some of the chairlifts and stuff, and it sounded amazing. The sound guy was like, whatever that was working, because it's just a direct signal into the board, right? And it just likes it. So I love it. Trio pedal.
Well, Earl, he's been digging deeper into that MXR Joshua delay pedal, and he says it's amazing. The pitch modulation adds depth to the sound that is quite nice.
Wow. See, adding depth and character.
And Vox Guitar doesn't want much. He wants an an Echoplex, an Echoplex, an Echoplex.
But what about an Echoplex? An Echoplex. This is something that is fun to have if you're switching through a bunch of stuff, especially if you have like loopers and stuff. Just a quick switch box that allows you to change the polarities,
There
and
you go.
you can also it also helps to keep things quiet if you ever have loud pedals, because it takes a battery and it has something that buffers, so you can take something that was louder and it'll get more quiet. You just run it through the A and B. So that can be useful to have around. They're not expensive. They're $50.
Want to thank Bo for coming on, chatting with Charles last week. We had a great time. Certainly
That was
appreciate
cool.
it. And he does have a point. Pedals are easier to hide from the wife.
Totally. You can get one guitar case and you can have 100 pedals in it.
And
heavy as shit.
when we were talking about that Dutch square that I had, Ben was letting you know it's more like a Timmy. It's not as gainy.
Right. But still, you could stage it up with that other one. You have another drive too, don't you?
Yeah. The nice drive A is got a good drive on it.
And then your PV Classic has 2 channels. Am I right?
Yep. It's the
So
same
you
one
can
you
go-
got. It's just
You can go through the roof with that, right?
Yep.
Actually, the gain alone on the PV
I
is not bad.
had this is progress for me, right? So I actually had the PV turned on today and was plugged into it and making some noise.
That's what you want. What guitar did you choose?
The American Strat.
Okay. That'll get you inspired to play a little bit, huh?
Yeah, so we're I'm at this point now. We were when you came up with the idea of doing the pedal show, I was like, man, I don't know. And I was thinking, I was like, I don't, I know enough to sit there and make a little bit of noise, but what should go in what what order and that kind of thing. I don't.
But you got the resource. You got Ben. Ben does.
Oh yeah, no, and I've been watching it, all his videos for forever, and know enough to be dangerous, but not enough to.
And I know enough to set up your board to when Ben saw it, he'd be like, "Oh, what the fuck did that do?"
But the thing about it,
it wouldn't be that bad, Ben. It would be okay.
I think I'm really glad that I made that purchase, right? Because now I'm really seriously thinking about my playing. I got the my big boy guitar now, and now I gotta learn to play enough to make it worthwhile to have.
Yeah, you can really generate some great tones. Also, your Gretsch through all that whole setup would sound great too.
Oh, that's a good question, Eddie. He says, "Can you use guitar pedals with an electric keyboard?"
I think people do. I think that I have never seen specific keyboard pedals.
And Ben answers yes, you can.
Yeah. That's the synthesizer pedal is basically taking the technology from a keyboard and putting it into a guitar. It just recognizes the frequency of the notes on the guitar when you're playing it, and it's kind of crazy. It's cool. You can get organ sounds and all kinds of amazing shit out of that pedal.
This is why it sucks when you get this far behind in the chat, because when we were talking about that TM300, it's the Behringer tube modulator.
Tube modeler.
Excuse me. Yes, thank you.
No, it's okay. Yeah, so it's just got it's going to make it sound like a tube amp. It's going to help you to get that growl and that depth and the bite of a tube. I had a blue tube amp that I sold in the very beginnings of before Presley Customs, but when I was just guitar sapphire-ing and fixing up and selling my first times in Reverb, and it was cool.
Well, Wayne McConnell, he says he loves his Vox Tone Lab SE along with an DS1 distortion.
Yeah. The DS1 distortion is a OG. Is it red and black or orange and black? I think
that's that boss. Yeah, it's a boss pedal. Yeah,
I had one. I also had a.
It's like a requirement. Everyone has to have a metal. Has had a metal zone at least
and once. A metal zone, right? A DS1 and a metal zone. What else did I have that was just? It sounds like a box of bees. A rat pedal. Everybody has to have a rat pedal at some point. I had a rat pedal for a while, but it was too It wasn't my thing. I always liked a little bit more saturation and a little bit more clean in my dirty, if that
Ah,
makes any sense.
well, Michael Cross says the best cheap stereo delay is the TC Nova. And Ben came right back at the point with friends don't let friends use TC gear.
Oh, I do have one piece of TC. No, I'm sorry, I don't. It's a Boss. My vocal processor is Boss. I was gonna buy a TC, and I took it back, and I got the Boss and tried it out, and then I never took the Boss back. I mean, I paid for the Boss, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that about Guitar Center is that they let you keep shit for a month. 30 days, you can go in and buy something that's electronics and you can bring it back. And as long as you keep all your packaging and your shit, you might have to pay a little bit of a restocking fee. But as far as I know, you can, if you're buying something else, you get 100% back. But I'm not like an advocate for them, but that was kind of cool. And I probably wouldn't have bought this thing because it was so damn expensive.
Well, it gives you some options, right? It gives you the way to
try
get
something out.
Try something else. Yeah.
That it's $300 and you're like, well, I don't know, $320 for a voice thing. And then you have it for a while and you're like, oh yeah, I can't go back. That thing sounds, it smooths out the rough spots. That's why
Right.
I was singing tonight. You ever sing to, oh, you're not a big singer really, but yeah, I sing to karaoke sometimes.
I sing a lot when no one else is listening.
Oh yeah. All right. I was singing some Creed. Can you take me higher? And I was
There you
like,
go.
you don't want to be doing that on the internet unless you're on key and like really making it, because
Yeah.
I did it a couple of times and one time was just a complete just not good, and then you get on key and you get it right and it sounds good, but yeah, easily screw that one up.
Well, our buddy Earl here, he says the SY1 adds great octave bass sound and it really fattens up your tone.
Yes, and yes. And you can run it separate. You run it one side, you run the dry into your amp and you run the SY signal. Excuse me. You have that go into the board. So that sounds huge through the board, just like the trio pedal.
Mm-hmm.
So when I played live, I would run both of those and they would go separate DIs into the board. And that just sounds really good. Makes you sound way bigger than you are. And then your amp sound on stage, if they mic it correctly, you can sound great. It sounds big, more than one person for sure.
Well, our buddy Gary says a blues driver is all he ever really used for many years and still do. But he just added a reverb and a Comp 90 since.
Perfect.
And Gary, I've got a blues driver story. I decided that I wanted a Boss blues driver.
Okay.
When before I bought any pedals, right? I had it in my head that I wanted a Boss blues driver, but I set a price in my head. I would not pay more than $50 with tax, everything.
Okay.
And so the number of blues drivers that I've looked at, and
there were $61.
Yeah, $51. No, we're not doing it.
Not doing it. It's got to be $50.
$50 all in. But
wow.
Gary, I'm right there with you. I like the idea of a blues driver. I like the way they sound. I've watched a bunch of videos on them and how they sound, and I find it really interesting that a lot of folks don't like the Wazacraft blues driver. That they prefer the old one better. Yeah, you would think, you're putting all that extra stuff in it, extra effort into it. It's supposed to be better, but it's really not. The pedal that always confused me, though, while we're on the subject of Wazas, and forgive me, is the Waza tuner, right? The Boss Waza tuner. Like,
you're like, Waza up with that.
Wazia improving here.
It tunes or it doesn't tune.
Right.
It doesn't Waza tune. There's no Waza scale that we need to tune to. It's a tuner. But I get it. If you got Waza everything else, you want your Waza tuner to match your other shit. So, but that's cool. What's up with that? I don't have any Waza stuff, but I would try it. I mean, why not?
Michael Cross tried that artifact and it confused him, he said.
I had a friend who heard me play with the trio pedal And, she heard me play and do the sequences and do the whole song. And she was like,
Mhm.
oh, I'm a songwriter. I really want that. And she has plenty of money. So she went out and bought one. And then she, I guess, doesn't have the same kind of getting into it kind of thing. And she was kind of like, oh, not as in love. And yeah, I figured out why. It's because when you write songs that have like a little extra one bar on it, and you
Oh,
do a little extra thing, or you do a little thing before you go into the other thing, and you live on that because that's how you express, then the looper kind of situation isn't the best for you.
right.
Because loopers depend on a little bit of simplicity, then building into other stuff. You can't come in super confusing and hot on a looper. You have to build it up. So anyway, so I think she sold it on Craigslist, and I kind of felt bad because you see your friend that got all stoked and bought something like, oh, I love that's a great idea, and then you're like, yeah, fuck, I love it. I gave my full pitch, and then she didn't fall in love with it or end up using it. Oopsies.
Well, Ben Kum says cheap pedals equal cheap tone. So spend your shekels.
Disagree. Agree to disagree. I think I've got pretty good tone here, and I actually. Oh, you say that because the last time I was playing, I didn't have any of my pedals plugged in.
Well, the funny
good
thing
point. Yeah,
with Boss pedals, they may not be the greatest pedals, but you can. My understanding is you can dial in some really good tones with them.
Yeah,
you spend the time.
They work. They're not top notch. They
Yeah,
do what
they're not a Cadillac, but they're the Chevy that'll get you everywhere.
You'll get me there. I mean, no, not even a Chevy. It's a Geo Metro,
Metro.
which is, owned by Chevy, but it's not really a Chevy.
Only 3 of the 4 cylinders working.
Only 3 of the 4 cylinders exist because there's only 3 cylinders. And I love the little thing that says "Heartbeat of America," and it wasn't made in America. It's like the heartbeat of heartbeat of somewhere. But
okay, so we got Corey Garden's signal chain here. He says guitar goes in, right?
Guitar.
Hendrix Mini Fuzz Face.
Whoa.
The Lizard Queen.
Come on.
The Boss BD2.
All right, Boss in the house.
Okay, right. He's got True Tone versus EXO Dual Drive.
Damn.
The JHS Charlie Brown 4.
Come now.
And then he's got his effects loop. And you are welcome to critique him all you want. And if you've got suggestions, give him those as well.
Come on, Ben. No, I'm just kidding. But Ben does have good critiques. I get it. That's funny. Just come on.
And Vox Guitar Rocks wanted to know if anyone is running those JHS pedals.
JHS don't have any. They sound really good from what I've heard. This is a must-have if you like to travel. And you just want to travel with your Strat, and this fits in your Strat case, Charles.
Okay.
And it's an amp, a Plexi amp, a Sans amp, which is like just a clean amp, and a delay.
That's funny because Sans is Latin for without, so it's without amp.
No, it's not Latin. I don't think. Sans amp, just like a Fender sound, Marshall sound, and delay.
Well, John ZD351 said he decided to rearrange his board 5 years ago. He took them all off and put them in a bag while he prepared the board. And stay tuned for step 2. Okay.
Yep, I get you. I'm there.
I guess they're still all in the bag.
I like this pedal. This pedal's cool. I use this pedal not traveling for a long time because it kind of did everything I wanted, and I could use it without. When I was using this, I was using my Carvin, and I would split everything out, and I would go into this and into my PA, and then separately into my amp setup, and it sounded crazy big with that whole guitar, and with this, it was too much actually. Synthesizer, all that stuff.
So Ben says, speaking of which, there is a Water Buffalo meeting. So if you are a member if you're Ben's member or Patreon, there is a meeting of the Water Buffalo Society tomorrow at 1:00 Eastern, 12 o'clock Central.
Yeah,
for all you in the middle position.
Eastern. What time Eastern?
1 p.m.
1. So
So noon my time.
and 2 o'clock my time? No, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock my time. 4 o'clock my
Go
time.
the other way.
Yeah, 4 o'clock.
Go the other way.
Aren't I later than him?
No, you're earlier than him.
Oh God, I hate waking up early. So I'm not getting up that. I mean, I might be up that
No,
early.
no, it's 1 p.m. So it's gonna be earlier in the day for you.
Okay.
So what is it? What's the difference? What, 3 hours, 4 hours?
3 hours.
Yeah.
3 hours.
So if he's at 1, you're at
It'd be
9.
10. Be
No,
10.
no, no.
11, 12, 1.
Okay, fine. Whatever, math.
I guess. Oh, you know what I'll do is I'll look for the fucking notification, and
So-
then I'll just try to get on. No, actually, it doesn't go like that on a
sent to you
Buffalo.
earlier today. It should be in your messenger.
Great. All right. Well, then I'll just put on a reminder on it. Great.
Just saying.
I got the kids tomorrow, so we got the twins. My wife's sister's twins. They're about to turn 7. 2 kids are coming. They're going to want to play guitar. We're going. Oh, it's also my mother-in-law's birthday tomorrow.
Well,
so
you might want to listen to this here. Matt says he'll give you $350, Seth. So I don't know what you were holding up at that time.
I hope it was 350. I hope it was 350 for what I was.
Because it was roughly 20 minutes ago. So I have no idea.
It was a while. I was holding something up. Oh, you know what? No, I was saying give me $71 for the acoustic simulator pedal. And they're saying $3. I'm pretty sure it's $3.50. But I accept your $350 and will expect it in my Venmo. Free shipping. Free shipping. Mm-hmm.
So he said, Searching Jones said he had the Angry Charlie and it was pretty awesome. Have the Rat Pack and a double barrel to eventually do a review, but I haven't had time to yet.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of pedal. That's great. I guess I just never got into it. I mean, I just never got the bug to go buy a bunch of pedals. Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess how can I say that when I've got 10 pedals on the table here next to me?
I know.
Seems kind of ridiculous.
Well, Corey's Garden's got a Serious Effects loop though here, right?
Okay.
He's got the Fender Triverb,
mm-hmm.
the MXR Analog Chorus,
mm-hmm.
MXR Phase 100.
Oh, double MXR.
Right? And we're not done with the MXRs yet. He's got the MXR Cobra Copy Analog Delay.
Yeah. Whoa.
And then he's ending that up with the Boss RC1 Looper.
Oh, Boss RC1.
So
nice. I had a Boss RC2 or whatever the double pedal one is that does a bunch of loops in it. It's a little confusing, but it was fun.
And welcome in, Steve Rezer. Good to see you, buddy.
What up, Stever? Not a left-handed guitar, Rezer.
There you go.
Sorry. It's a thing.
We are coming rapidly to an end here, and I am still far behind in the chat.
Does time seem to be moving faster as the hour goes on?
I don't know. I think as the hour goes on, I think the more I realize I'm behind in the chat. That's all.
Oh, okay. All right. Because they say that as you get older, your life actually moves faster because when you're 1 year old, the 1 year is like 1% of your life, right? And then when you're 90 years old, that 1 year is a lot more, I guess. I don't know.
Ryan has a crazy 2 circuits Crossfire, which is like a I don't know, like
2 circuits. I think I've heard of it.
Maybe he must be going for Fender there, like a Fender amp side sound in a tube screamer. Works pretty well.
Huh. Okay. Well, everybody loves a Fender amp sound. Fender amps are cool.
And
not
so
everybody's dying for
he has a Digitech RP1000. Got rid of all his pedals long ago.
Yep. So that's the thing. Like if you've got a Kemper or if you went the digital route, a lot of people are just over it. They just figured that, old technology, but it's still here. People still, pedals I don't think are going away because they're just with us.
Guitar guys are always looking for another advantage, something else they can add on, right? Something to mess with the sound just a little bit more.
Right, right. You're always trying to um find something a little bit new and fun, or you hear something and it inspires you and you're like, "Oh man, I got to get that tone now, so let me get this." I can usually get pretty close, kind of like I was saying earlier that Ben could do with no problem. I could usually hear something, and with what I have, I
Mhm.
can get close. I can't always get there, but I can get close enough. And even if you strip it down with just a few things, with a three, you can. This doesn't have a chorus, so it doesn't really. But there is a delay. No, there's a reverb on it. So there's
Reverb.
a the Sans amp has the reverb, and then the Plexi is like having a Marshall boost, and then the delay is just a delay, but it's good. That's when you're using
And
that is
so,
when you might have a snark.
well, and we have these all these other options about pedals and how they're used, right? Because was reminding us that the wah was originally made for keys, the wah wah pedal, right? And
Huh.
Earl is saying that John Lord of Deep Purple used a fuzz on his organ, and it
Nice.
really
Yeah.
added down there. And
Hmm.
Ryan saying Mr. Blue Sky from ELO used the talk box through the Hammond.
Wow. Yeah. Hammond piano. How cool would that be? Give me one of those, please. I'll learn piano, but get one of those. Or a Fender Rhodes.
See, and back when we were talking about the Metal Zone, Ben talked about how he unloaded his upon Trev.
Nice. Well, you can't go wrong with a metal zone just because it's fun to say. Metal zone.
And that says he was always a death metal kid, but he always hated that Metal Zone. Metal Zone.
Well, it does have a lot of top end. It can get a little bit tinny, a little bit
Hey there, Josh. How you
fuzzy.
doing, buddy?
What up, Josh? Thank you for stopping through. You're a super busy guy. So, best place?
Best place in the car while you're driving, a complete rock star there.
That's for singing. Yep.
Yep, for sure. Why not?
Totally. Yep. That's where I think I got I learned a little bit of singing just by singing a lot in the car when I'm going places.
It's funny where you start getting these parts of the chat, and now I'm sitting there remembering the back conversation of how far back this really is.
Right. No, and Ben Charles literally will mute me if I start to sing certain things, or even if I start to just talk the lyrics to like any Whitney Houston song, I'm muted immediately. But,
yes, well, we have our limits here.
Okay, I'm just saying. I was trying to describe how that works in a teaching scenario. If you've got nothing to say and it comes to you and you're put on the spot, and you're like, if you go and sing, if you just say those words, you can sound inspiring. And then the people that know will know you're talking Whitney. Most people will know actually, and they'll know that you're the best at your job.
Well, we have pretty much done it. We've gone through.
We haven't done it. We got a minute and 20
Gretsch
seconds to go. This
Pepper,
is where it can fall apart. We think we're on the rails now, but we could go up in burning flames. That was so funny, that joke I just made about burning flames. Boy, this is really annoying, isn't it?
It is, but
I know.
that's what we excel at. We excel at being annoying.
I know I do. I know I get getting the call back for that one on the
It's just
variety
mean,
show.
It's just mean.
Yeah, it's mean. But you know what? We appreciate everybody for stopping through, because without you, what would we be? We'd just be hanging out here yapping at each other about stuff about pedals. And we don't know much.
That's
Obviously,
14 days before all Josh's stuff leaves. 18 until he has the car in St. Louis. He has to have the car in St. Louis so it can be shipped.
Damn, right on.
And he is Germany bound.
Big time. For real. I want to come visit you and go see the Gates of Babylon in that museum, because they got them in Germany. All right. And that's heavy duty. That's cool. That's pretty cool.
Well, I tell you.
Afghanistan might want them back at some point, Germany. I'm just saying, like, you kind of did just kind of take their Gates of Babylon. So some point you could return those. It would be cool. But you did keep them safe for a while. So you're entitled to some really good pictures. But we probably should just give it back. Okay. All right. Oh, he's making comments. All right. Hey, did you mute me or no?
No, I did not.
Okay,
I
good.
let you
All right,
ramble.
All right, good. Thank God, because I went a little bit blank there. It was something about something that I got passionate about for a second there. But that and the pyramids don't get me going.
So we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up, everyone. Thank you so much for being here.
Mitch
Go
Heyman's,
ahead
Charles
and
Green,
join
head over.
Mitch and Charles Green next. They're gonna
And
be
if
up.
you mention Charles and Seth, you get a free sandwich and one of their guitars.
Yeah, maybe a Mexican Coke.
Yes. Oh, with all the real sugar. So head over there. Thank you guys for coming out tonight. And listen to the whole song before we go over there, because it's best time of your week. The best time of your week. The best time. It's the best time of your week. The best time.
You promised not to do that.
I thought you were going to hit the button while I was singing. Time of your week. Come on, people. Charles and me. About to take you on guitar safari. So turn on your computer, turn on your phone. 'Cause it's about to go down, one volume, one tone. Yeah, Charles and me, we're about to take you on guitar safari. Turn on your computer and turn on your phone, 'cause it's about to go down, one volume.